HBO Max.
I'm signing into your HBO Max so I can put something on in the background.
You want to put something on in the background while we're recording a podcast episode?
Yeah, so the TV's just not blank looking at me,
I still didn't understand what he said. You like slurring your words, bro.
He said he's logging into your HBO account so you can have something on in the background while we're recording the podcast.
My bad. I don't speak Spanish, so.
I said it. It's not even working, bro. I give up.
Free, she throwing that ass. I'm up for coming in last. Went to the bank, can't be alive. Nigga fuck love, rather by rap. Nigga fuck love, rather by rap.
Yo, welcome to episode 40. 40.
Sure.
What
It's not really 40 though.
Nah, it is 40. It's really 40. What do you mean?
No, it's not, dude. Because if you scroll through the episodes, there's like 6 numbered episode 26s, bro.
No, there's not.
Maybe not 6, but there's a couple of them.
No, there's not.
Niggas be lying.
I'm willing to place a wager.
I don't like to bet against David. I'm scared. But I'm pretty sure there's not multiple.
Not many people feel like that, so that's pretty cool.
Okay. I don't think there's not multiple 26s. David's crazy. And if he actually isn't crazy, then holy fuck, we got to do some adjusting. But we'll get to that later. We'll cross that bridge at a different time, even though I know David's checking it out right now. Anyway, welcome to technically episode 40. What?
So there's 2 episode 25s. And then it goes episode 26, and then 2 more shows, and then episode 28. I'm sorry, 27.
Were the 2 shows like the bonus one? Because I know we threw in a Spider-Man one as a bonus thing, and a couple other bonuses.
I think we did
I guess there's 2 shorts. I guess.
All right, so technically David would have owed me money if I would have made that bet. All right, so we're good.
Should have placed it.
Perhaps.
I know, I should have placed it. Whatever. I bitched out. That's on me. But anyway, welcome to technically episode 40. Episode 4. Hey, fuck you, bro. Wooker certified. We in here still without the nose god Chris. He'll come back eventually. I don't know.
That's not even cool, man. You wouldn't say that if he was here.
Yeah, I would. I talk shit about his nose in the group chat. It's a cool nickname. Yeah. The nose god. Like Charlemagne the god, but the nose god,
Chris a real one, bro. He
is a real one.
But I'm fucking with it.
Yeah. Nah, I love Chris. I wish he'd come back to the podcast. I don't know why he's left us. I feel like he's pulling a Tommy on us right now, and I don't like it.
He's fixing
he out of town. He just didn't bring his equipment with him for whatever reason. Granted, he do be the guy with the equipment difficulties, so I feel like
he does have equipment difficulties. But all right, let's get into it. So I was at lunch today, and because I'm a little bit more senior rep now, whenever a new person is hired for our team, my manager has me and the other senior guy. We go to lunch with like the new person. So today we went to lunch with Dan, the new guy. So it was me, my boss, my boy Mike, and Dan. And we're just sitting down at lunch, bro. We were having a good time. I was cracking jokes. They were fucking dying laughing. And it was a good, and then I found myself sitting there. I'm like, fuck, man. Pete was right. For those of you who don't know, I get roasted a lot in the group chat because my jokes aren't very funny. But I was like, hey, I could always count on Pete because Pete laughs at my shit. And then Pete the other day was like, it's because I'm white people funny. So that's why I'm funny. And then I'm sitting here at lunch, bro, with a group of white people, and they're just dying laughing at the shit I'm saying. I'm like, holy fuck, Pete is right. What the fuck is going on here? Like, what am I missing? I don't understand the difference here. Like, how I don't understand how I can't be funny with my friends, but I'm funny to these people.
Because there's like Seinfeld, then there's like Dave Chappelle, right? And there's like dad jokes and they're like hood jokes. You get what I'm saying? Like, so dad jokes be funny as fuck, but it's not like hood funny. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just had that conversation at work the other day. Like,
Oh, really?
black people gonna roast you. Like, they're like, this nigga take care of his kids. Everybody gonna laugh. This nigga went to college and got a degree. That nigga stupid as fuck. Like, wait, you know what I'm saying?
Oh,
like,
educated ass.
Yeah. Like, but white people gonna be like, how do black people get so tall? And you be like, what you mean? It's like, cut their knees grow. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my gosh. Damn.
And
Damn.
look.
You had that one like in the chamber just ready to go,
like,
bro.
I'm laughing because why the fuck did you know that one already? Like, why the fuck?
I've heard it before from people that don't look like me. So, but to me, it was hilarious. But it's like white people funny. You can't take that joke everywhere. You feel me? Like,
That's true.
I don't know, man. I guess my jokes just need a little more seasoning, as David says. I guess so.
Soldier Boy said it best, man. That's all I gotta say.
Hey,
and if you know what Soldier Boy said, you know.
Hey, comment below if you know
said.
what Soldier Boy said. Let us know. Let us know.
Let me know if you get that reference.
Yeah.
If you don't, hit me up. I'll put you on.
David will explain on this in a separate message, in a separate environment. But yeah, so that's kind of my story of the day. That was my realization. Pete was 100% correct, I guess.
But it's still funny. Like, you got that 70s show, then you got like, you know, Fresh Prince.
Also fire.
It'd be some bland, you know, not funny stuff out there, bro. Some bland, tasteless comedy.
When did you learn the word bland, like bro? Because you've been using it a lot, and I don't like it.
Honestly, this occurred at work. I was speaking with the woman who had hired me, and she was speaking about this other dude. He's a white man, and we were speaking on food. And she was like, "Oh, he likes his food bland and tasteless." And he was like, "Is it because I'm white?" And she was like, "Yeah." And she's a white woman too.
Damn.
So that's where the word bland was introduced to me. And I was like, "This is fitting."
And then you just ran with it ever since.
Hey man, the shit works. Shit works.
Hey, bro, so no bullshit, man. So, like, you know, I've been up here in Wisconsin for a grip. A lot of my friends are white. Their parents are white, you know. Thought nothing of it. I've had their cooking plenty of times. It's been solid. It's been whatever, right? It's been good. It's been okay. Bro, so during COVID, one of my managers at the time, he came down to Florida with his family. They like rented out a house or whatever. Whoop-de-whoop did that shit. And he invited me over because we were really cool. Like, I was really cool with his boss. So I went over to his crib and he invited me for dinner too. And his mom was making the dinner, and she's like, you know, super sweet, like 70 or 80 years old.
She be super sweet to P and Kenny though. Like, that's what I want to know.
David, just let me tell the story. All right. And so she was making the food, man. She was in there for a couple hours. She made some chicken, some rice, or whatever. Bro.
What kind of chicken, man?
Not good chicken, Kenny. Not good chicken. Bro, I took a bite. I ate this shit and I looked around. I was like, yo, y'all really eating this? Like, y'all good with this?
So you gotta watch this and like hit you up later, like, bro. You just gonna try my mom, bro.
You don't watch this shit, bro. You don't watch this shit. But
I hope you watch this episode.
That was the first time I've actually really experienced this shit where like white people don't use seasoning, dog. Like, that shit was so dry. Like, I dead ass think she just took the chicken out of the fucking pack and put it in the oven, and that's it.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
bro. And I went home, bro. I was still hungry as hell, and I told my mom, and she died laughing. She's like, "Oh man, yeah."
Did you eat it all?
I ate what I put on my plate. I had to. He was my employer, bro. I was scared.
What else was on that
me,
plate?
Cause I got a story like that too, and I threw all that shit away.
No.
But I'm not gonna tell you who, cause it's somebody we know, and that shit. I was like, hell no, I would know.
Man. Like, now I'm interested. I want to hear this story.
I ain't never had.
Come on,
I had a
tell the
whole
story.
spread, bro, like steak, green beans, rice, yams, a whole bunch of shit. All that bitch tastes like water. I was like, bro, how you season all this shit with water? Like,
Yeah.
That's astronaut food.
yeah.
Crazy, man.
Yeah, that shit was in the packet, bro. That shit, they took that
Bro,
shit out.
I was in that bit, and it was before a certain or after these events that happened with me and Gene. Like, damn near tried to kill him because this nigga spaz, right?
Yeah.
So I got even more mad because I'm like, bro, not only I can't go home because me and my brother trying to kill each other. Now I gotta eat this unseasoned shit. Like,
I don't know which one's
the
worse.
worst.
yeah.
He's out here contemplating the pros and the cons of both situations.
I should have just went home and died. Goddamn, like.
Bro, that shit was crazy though, man. That was the first time, and so far the last time I've experienced that, bro. But that was like legit, like, damn, you dead ass did not put anything in this food. Shit was crazy. That shit was crazy. But
She didn't even offer you some ketchup or anything?
Dude.
No dip?
Nah, she asked if I wanted seconds. I was like, no, I'm good. I'm full.
Oh.
I'm good. No, I'm full. Thank you.
Oh, that's wild.
And I told my boss, yeah, I gotta go. You know, tell my mom I'll get the car back at a certain time, whatever. Maybe I lied to him straight up, bro. I had to get home because I was starving. My mom whipped me up something nice and good. I was chilling. She made some plátano and I was fucking set. So that was it's fun to look back on, but at the time I was in fucking horror. But here we are. We lived to tell the tale.
You know, some of them folks, they introduced me to monkey bread. Have you ever had monkey bread before?
That shit fire.
I had
That shit's fire. There's some white folks that put me onto that.
The only time I've had monkey bread,
but you don't got to season monkey bread, so it's like, you know,
that's
you can't fuck that up.
The only time I've had monkey bread,
it's only white folks have had me over for food. Actually, not
is the Pazuki one from the restaurant. Is the Pazuki monkey bread? It's the only thing I've had.
From
BJ's. That's just good too.
Yeah, from BJ's. That's just gas.
Fuck BJ's. Shout out BJ's, man. Fuck
yeah, shout out BJ's. Shout out to the sponsors.
I like BJ's.
Okay.
Who raised this nigga, man?
You know who. You know who.
The streets.
The streets.
Belong to the streets. Nah.
Anyway, so we have a long list of topics here that we've kind of been waiting on to hit. One that's been on for a minute that I thought would be a good conversation piece is separating the artist from the art. And I found that interesting. It's a little perplexing. Like, when you say that, separating the artist from the art, like, what does that mean to you, Kenny?
I mean, just looking at the artist, like, I don't know. I don't even know how to like put it in a definition. Like, I just look at it like I can compare it to like people's situations, like R. Kelly, let's just say. Like, the nigga makes great music, but just happens to be
a dirty motherfucker.
Yeah.
A pedophile.
A pedophile,
yeah.
And it's just, that's the biggest one. And then it's like you got situations like Chris Brown, where, he makes good music as well. And then that Rihanna situation just sticks with him, his whole time, his whole career. So it's like, people gonna listen to him. You're still gonna listen to him, but he's on every song. It's not like you can't ignore it, but I don't know. I guess it's a touchy situation, I guess.
But why we don't do that with like certain other aspects? Because Elvis was a pedophile. They still play his shit. Van Gogh is a weirdo. They still post up his paintings.
Cut his fucking ear.
Amber Heard was a bitch, and they probably still gonna run her movies. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, why we only do that with certain? Huh?
I mean, I do.
Those examples, like, there's a blatant. I mean, like, I can't quite put my finger on it. What it is that's different about them, but.
All right. But when you look at Chris Brown, though, like, he definitely got a lot of flack, like, when it happened. right? But like this man, it's not like he got canceled, right? It's not like people don't bump his shit since then, right? Like, granted, there was a period of time where he was kind of like fucking,
He should
not
have
doing
been way
stuff.
bigger than what he is now. I don't give a fuck what
Yeah,
anybody
yeah,
say.
yeah.
Way big.
I don't know. Didn't he
He's
drop an
already
album with like 40 songs? Like,
he's
They
he's
attempt-
big,
who the fuck
he's
you
big
be
as
up?
fuck.
I'm
What are
not
you
listening
talking
to that
about?
shit.
No, Chris Brown should be a borderline billionaire. The trajectory of this motherfucker, Double Mint Gum sponsored this nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
He did lose. He lost a lot of sponsors.
He
Yeah,
did.
I know he lost a lot of the
He
sponsorship side of
did
things.
beat the shit out of Rihanna.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
like,
yeah. But I'm just saying, like, motherfuckers are still saying that he's the fucking king of pop, over Michael Jackson. Like, I've legit heard
Nah, I
people
never
say
heard
that
that
shit. I've
shit.
legitimately heard
I've
people
heard
try
it.
to
I've
make
heard
that
it.
argument.
No, I've heard it. I heard it.
So,
I
like,
heard
I don't really think that, Chris Brown fully felt the effect. Like, granted, like you said, where he's felt the effects of it is probably in his wallet because of all the sponsorship and the extra shit that he lost. But as far as, like, from the public bumping his shit, still rocking with him,
Yeah, but the public was on that fuck Chris Brown tour for like 4 years. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
That's 4 years of miss.
he
Yeah,
had to do the time though, didn't he?
I don't even know what he did.
he did probation and shit like that.
she should have been canceled too, though. Like, she hit that nigga.
I
too.
would never cancel Rihanna, bro.
Look,
It's not
cause of
gonna
niggas
happen.
like him.
I don't listen to her
mean-
music and shit. Like, you can look up at Apple Music, bro. There's no Rihanna being played. Just, it's Rihanna, bro. Follow her on Instagram. She's a nice looking woman. Double tap.
Or
Yeah, he said
crazy
double
thing to
tap.
me-
wait, let's rewind for a second. Let's rewind for a second. P, you saying that she should be canceled too for hitting him?
Hell yeah.
No, but P, nobody cares about us men,
Nah.
bro. Nobody cares about
I
us,
know
bro.
but that's a big point, and that's a big problem. But
Wait,
she
so are,
Hey,
Just-
Rihanna,
just
you
to
can
make
beat
sure.
me up if you're watching.
she's not. just to justify or to clarify, Pete, you're not saying like what Chris Brown did was justified, right? You're just saying in general she should have felt the same repercussions.
they both was at fault. That's what I'm saying. Like, a man should never put hands. I just said that off camera. A man should never put hands on a woman. That's weird. That's you're a coward. You're soft as fuck. You a bitch ass nigga. You should run into
She has a
you.
weapon.
Like, still, because you shouldn't even allow yourself to even get to that point with her. And I'm a perfect example of that because I just went through a little situation and I ain't put no hands at all. You get what I'm saying? This shit got vicious. You get what I'm saying? But at the same time, women is not only victims. You feel me? Like, I heard she bit the nigga, threw the nigga phone out the window, did a whole bunch of extra shit before he even snapped. You feel me? Like, so that should have went into consideration too, though.
Yeah, but when you look at the effects from what he did to
Visual
her,
too, bro. She got the pictures.
bro, like that shit just look way, way worse.
She looked like she got into a freaking boxing ring, bro.
Yeah, like he
Yeah,
put the
but-
hands.
But we don't, and I had this conversation too. We don't blame the people that instigated some shit. Like, I had a little situation at my job. My store manager was talking crazy to me, like out of nowhere, because he wanted me to do a little bit more, or he wanted me to do shit that he couldn't even do. So when I snapped, everybody looking at me, Peterson crazy. No, that I'm doing my job, and this fuck nigga came out of nowhere. He's the problem. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
But you didn't like beat his ass though, right?
no, I wouldn't. I'm still on the schedule.
yeah.
I
like,
cussed him out a little bit,
You
but
didn't
like,
have
sticks
to
and
take a trip
stones,
to the
man, like-
hospital, like get
Yeah.
fucking facial reconstruction type shit. I
That
don't know if
wasn't-
you did that, but I'm just
Like, society has conditioned me to be convinced that people don't care about men. Like, and this is another
Yeah.
example of that. Like,
That's very
we don't
true.
care people don't care what Rihanna said to him.
That's
Rihanna
right.
could have said some crazy shit, bro. And it's like no one gives a fuck about what she said because the image that's mostly related to that incident is the pictures of her face. And it's like
it was pretty bad.
no one
fucking
gives a
images,
fuck
though,
what Rihanna
David.
said, bro. Like
Yeah.
no one, you know what I mean? Like it
But
doesn't
we-
matter what Rihanna said at that point.
we derailed in a bitch, but
That's fine.
like, I don't listen to R. Kelly no more. That shit, that nigga weird. Like, I
Yeah.
do
I'm
not
really-
play R. Kelly not one bit. Like
I've never.
Yeah, every time I hear an R. Kelly song, man, the vibe just get weird, man.
yeah.
They
Like,
was
yo, you
playing
still playing
R.
this?
Kelly they was playing R. Kelly at Applebee's, man. And I was just like, I was looking around to see who's bobbing their head. I'm like, man.
Kenny's like,
I see-
you're a problem.
Apple-
You're a problem.
Don't give a
You're
fuck.
fucking weird. Someone called the cops on that guy.
Yeah, I mean, bro, I swear, like, I personally struggle with that because I don't listen to like R. Kelly and shit, obviously, but I don't know, I just find the shit weird. But I listen to, I struggle with like XXX, like, you know, the rapper and shit from Florida. That nigga's real. That nigga's nice. You feel me? So it's like, I'm like, damn, I don't know. Like,
We had some shit going on too.
Yeah, he got some shit going on too. But at the same, like, don't get me wrong, I don't support domestic violence, but at the same time, I like the music. You feel me? So
yeah, it's like there you can separate the artist or the art from the artist because it's like I'm not listening to Triple X to how to treat people. Like it's like the music the motherfucker makes. Like I'm not taking lessons from his music that will make me behave in a way that he may want to have. Like
but some of the songs is hard to even process because like age ain't nothing but a number. Then you hear who it's coming from. You just like nah.
Like, nah. I think
that's a problem.
I think R. Kelly, when it comes to that shit, is like an extreme case because you like when he was making this shit, no one knew what he probably was really, really talking about. You know what I mean? Like now that it's out, like 30 years later, you're like, damn, okay, this is hella weird. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like niggas was jamming to that shit. Our parents probably was going crazy to that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's weird, but it is what it is. But then I kind of feel like this. Like I feel like artists, like we make like people try to make them into role models when they're not even role models. Like, no one said they were perfect. You know what I mean? These are people just like us. You know what I mean? Just got problems like everybody else. You know.
But I don't think it's the fact that we want them to be perfect. It's just some shit you like. And I had this conversation. Sometimes you have to hold certain people to certain standards because their reach is way like you, me, Rook, David. Our reach ain't going but so far.
Yeah.
So whenever we do some dumbass shit, it's gonna affect maybe 2-3 people, maybe 10 max. Like R. Kelly do some shit, he's gonna affect motherfucker from here to Europe to Africa to South America and back. You know what I'm saying? Like so it's just like, we have to hold them to certain standard. That's like a doctor can't afford to be sleepy, but I could afford to be sleepy at night because I'm not operating on nobody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
I feel you.
You know, it's kind of intertwined but different. What I do think when it comes to separating the artist and the art, like we do that really well when it comes to athletics, when it comes to athletes though.
Boom. I was about to say that too.
Yeah. I mean, you know, you get a motherfucker like Deshaun Watson do what he did, and this man just got he just got a $230 million contract fully guaranteed. You know, which is fucking nuts. Type shit.
So Lamar Jackson's about to get 400 guaranteed.
Hey, we're not gonna turn this into a Lamar Jackson fucking debate, David. Okay, we're just not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that.
But even in that sense, that's why Bill Clinton had to give up the presidency because you can't just get a blowjob in the Oval Office, bro. Like that shit is wild. Like you can't do that because we have to hold you to a certain standard. Like
I'm sure George Washington was doing that.
Yeah, but we ain't had cameras at that time.
George Washington can do it. You know, like why can't I?
He on a dollar bill. He was probably doing all types of shit back in the day.
He's probably a dirty motherfucker, huh?
But even in that sense, even with like MLK, a lot of people is like, it's hard to follow a lot of the shit he was doing too, because they say allegedly like he was cheating on his wife on the road and all this crazy shit, and it was like, so he was telling us to be one way. Yeah, I already see you.
Black men don't cheat.
Thank you, David. Thank you.
That's
Black power.
So Black Twitter said, you know.
But I don't know. That shit do be tough sometimes. Certain people though, I be like OJ, that nigga did that shit. That's tough.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Like, so it'll be, I don't know.
Yeah, shit.
Michael Vick did that shit. Like,
I mean, Tyreek Hill.
But Michael Vick.
Tyreek Hill fucking, he hit, was it his girl, right? Didn't Tyreek Hill hit his girl or some shit?
He
like
kicked
her?
his kid. Or maybe it's Adrian Peterson.
That Adrian Peterson broke his kid's arm, I think, or his leg or some shit like that when he was when he was spanking him, when he was
doing MMA moves on that motherfucker.
Adrian, I mean, he's just a strong motherfucker, bro. You seen Adrian Peterson? That's a strong motherfucker,
That's the real nigga should listen, man.
What did his son say? You know, like
see how big that nigga is.
So, but so like you find out Adrian Peterson, got flack for a little bit, but that man was still playing. Tyreek Hill is still like, this man's fucking highly ranked in the NFL amongst receivers. Like people fucking praise Tyreek Hill type shit. So like in sports is crazy, like how you could separate the two.
And movies too, though.
Good at that shit. The NFL good at that shit, though.
Yeah,
there's a lot of weird ass actors too. Like in movies, they do the same shit. Like they just brush that shit on the rug because Titanic was the best movie or whatever. They'll be like, okay, he's straight. Like he did this in his personal life, but this movie is phenomenal. So we're not gonna act like his work don't speak for itself. Like so, I don't know.
I mean,
I think remember Cuban Gooding Jr. or whatever. That nigga's done, bro.
Yeah. They fried his ass.
Wait, who?
Cuba Gooding Jr.
Who's that?
What did he
do? He was on radio.
He was touching women and shit. Like,
he was groping women in nightclubs and doing a whole bunch of weird shit. Like,
he
do play radio, so.
Yeah.
That Boys in the Hood. He was in so much other shit.
Yeah.
That radio role fucked him up, though. You can tell, bro. You can't pretend to be radio and be normal in real life after that. Man.
No.
Welcome to the last episode of Woodcrest Certified.
Yeah.
You gotta send me a disability check after that role.
Oh my god.
And you want to hear some fucked up shit? I was listening to a comedian one time. I don't remember who it was. I think it might have been Bill Burr, but he was talking about like, why aren't some roles that are characterizing like a disabled person or somebody with some type of disability or disadvantage? They're like, why don't you cast someone for that role that actually has that disability or disadvantage? And dude was like, well, because then they're not acting, then it becomes a documentary.
That's true.
I was just like, damn.
I mean, that's what's not true about that.
It's not funny. I'm not laughing.
I ain't laughing.
Motherfucker raised a good point.
Oh,
I'm not laughing. No, I'm not laughing.
Hey, Mike, just keep me in.
I think it was Bill Burr, man.
Mike blurred
he was
my
talking about
face
able-bodied people. That's what he was talking about. They're like, why don't you just get a disabled body? They're like, it's just a documentary now. Oh man,
I could laugh. I'm handicapped, so I can laugh. I'm a disabled vet, so I'm all right.
Oh man, we going to hell.
First class.
Yo.
Turn that bitch up.
To backtrack, I don't mean to derail us, but to backtrack. So you're saying, obviously I agree with you where when you say you should never put your hands on a woman. But when David was like, what if they have like a weapon in your face or some shit like that? I feel like that changes things.
Yeah, but that don't like when people use these examples, that shit be frying me because
you just pray for her right there.
Y'all not just watching TV on the cops and bam, it's a gun. That's not how that shit happens. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
If it gets to the point where she got a weapon, it was a lot more steps prior to the weapon that you know what I'm saying? Like, it don't just come out. She was been beating your ass. You probably was beating her ass. Y'all was abusive, them motherfucker, toxic as hell. So at that point, it's like, damn, y'all led that shit to even come to that point. So
all right, take your girl aside from it. Like, let's say it's not your girl. Like, you're getting robbed by a chick.
Oh, I'm finna beat the brakes off her.
Beat her ass and whoever sent her. Like, first off, like, you gonna send her to rob me? Like,
she probably ain't gonna make it out the building. She probably gonna be dead. Like, don't play with me like that.
Who you working for?
This
Nah,
definitely
that-
cancel-worthy episode right here.
Yeah.
no, but that's different though. That's like saying if a terrorist come to like do some wild shit and she's a woman, we just gotta be like, oh my god, she's a woman. Hell no, kill that bitch.
Yeah, y'all ain't hear about the chick that had stabbed this dude or something? Like, I think it was on Twitter or something. Like,
In Miami, the OnlyFans chick.
Oh
yeah.
I saw like the headline, but I didn't really look that much into it because
I ain't looking to it either.
How you let a bitch kill you? But that's
they arrested her on vacation.
Yeah, how she went and took a vacation on it.
Damn, she stabbed homie, then took a vacation.
No, she stabbed homie because I know a little bit about the story. She stabbed homie. When they came, whatever, she had blood all over her. They said she wasn't at fault. Out the bam, the police let her go. Yeah, she was in questioning probably for like 6 hours. They let her go. So then when they got, but white woman, black man, boom, right? So when they got all the evidence together, out the bam, she like in Jamaica or somewhere over there, and they arrested her ass and brought her back. And her lawyer was like, she didn't do nothing. Or what? Like, you stabbed homie like 26 times. What you mean?
Yeah, that's wild. That's wild.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy. He should have beat her ass.
More than beat her ass.
Maybe he didn't have the opportunity,
himself,
you know?
Maybe she snuck his ass, right?
Yeah.
I don't give a shit, man. I'm carrying mace, man. I don't care what nobody says.
I'm
all gonna be burning.
She could be firing shots blind, bitch.
But what I was talking about wasn't extreme cases like that. I'm talking about a domestic dispute.
Yeah.
Nah, niggas carry. I'm supportive of niggas carrying mace all 2022
at all times.
Like it ain't gonna make no sense for me to swing on a woman. I bench 315, bro. Like,
you can just toss her ass in.
Yeah, I'm from the
sick
rock
flex,
her
bro.
shit. Like
sick flex, bro. You bench 315.
You know.
Yeah.
All right. Stop.
He was showing out at Mike's, man.
Yeah.
Was it?
Almost killed me and Mike.
What was Pete doing,
that was
bro?
Mike's fault. That wasn't even my fault.
These dudes got drunk and like started doing like push-up contests, bro. My fat ass was in there like, this what we doing, bro? Like,
yo, Rob started that. Rob always started
that.
Classic
shit.
Rob.
Rob get drunk and he's just like,
he's a different person, bro.
We finna fight or we gonna compete. We gonna do something though. Like, bro, just fucking sit the fuck down, man.
Just relax and have fun, Rob.
Trying to lift your car up.
Rob is one of those like angry drunk people. Like he's scary to be around when he's drunk.
Bro got on the video game and was just talking mad shit. Like, bro, like I played this game like 6 times in my entire life, man. Like, of course you're gonna win.
It was Super Smash Bros, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Rob be making me laugh, man.
Rob and his skinny cars, bro.
And he be pouring up too, bro. He be making them
drinks.
drinks.
He be pouring up, yo.
His need to be virgin drinks though, bro, because he be turning way the fuck up. Just like, chill out, bro. He be trying to break kids' toys and like take on my credit card, like, bro, like, just don't break the fucking toy, like.
Shit, heavy-handed too, boy. He be having a bottle like this. I'm like, bro, you don't have to put all the liquor in the cup. Like,
it's a whole ass bottle.
It's not ketchup.
Yeah.
Throw some creatine in the drink.
You stupid.
Shout out Rob though, man. Rob the refrigerator.
That dude, man.
Refrigerator Rob. Damn, he used to be Tank Rob. So many transformations. It was Tank Rob, then Refrigerator Rob.
Animal Man.
Yeah, a man of many faces, bro. Many transformations. Just crazy. No, on a real though, shout out Daniel. I miss Daniel. Yeah, good times.
Shout out Dan.
Come back to the group chat, Danny.
He in the doghouse, man.
That nigga ignorant, but I'm fucking with it.
Nah, bro, he's a lot more relaxed now in his married days, right? Ish.
He's that guy, bro. He got the comb over still, like.
Yeah, he got the
real chilling.
Yeah, damn. Shout out Dan. Come back to us, Dan, at some point.
Maybe we should have Dan serving the drinks. Actually, sorry.
Yo, Dan's a bartender, bro. He's got that shit. He can do. He's got a whole business. Hey, if you are looking for someone to cater your drinks at an event, call Daniel Lavonte.
Nice.
He's out there in his company, and they'll serve you. Call Dan.
This the white people jokes.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't.
Hey, he even put the voice on too, bro. He put a voice on for that shit.
Yeah, bro, that's like my telemarketer voice. You know, when I'm trying to advertise for my man's.
You sound like a bill collector, motherfucker.
That was black people jokes.
There you go, Pete. There you go.
I'm in.
Yeah.
Ah, come on, don't tell David that. Speaking of
Nah, Pete,
Dan,
don't worry. You're not the only person to invite me to the cookout. I've been invited plenty of times. Just throwing that out there.
sick, bro.
I ain't no fat shaming, but we see.
Black people jokes.
Sorry, bro. I'm black. I got
Sorry, man.
My grandma
You
was
all-
cracking on me.
Man, that's crazy. That's funny. Speaking of Dan, because we know Dan is a religious individual. We had a religious conversation, a religious topic where does believing in soul and a soul, but not religion, is that like contradictory? Is that a contradiction to believe in the soul but not religion?
I think
don't get what
David
y'all
is the one
I
that
didn't think
sparked
so.
that shit. It's
I don't know
hella
what y'all-
contradictory.
But what was- what was
I've
y'all
never
saying?
attached soul to someone being religious.
The concept of a soul came from religion. So whether or not you attach to it or not is still don't make sense because that's where it came from. So if you believe in a soul,
Oh.
you have to be somewhat spiritual or religious to begin with.
So what do you
Well, I
believe
mean-
happens to your soul when you die, David? If you believe in
I
the
don't
soul.
fucking know.
All right, well.
I don't know. I don't. I've never sat down and thought about like, damn, what happens to it? Like, I don't know. I don't really have a thought on that. I've thought about death though, and I'm just like, I'm just asleep forever. You know, there's no more waking up and recording
leave my
podcasts
soul.
and shit.
I wanted to leave my soul
What?
and beach him.
I feel you. I wanted to leave my soul in a Japanese restaurant. But
He said,
What?
and beat him.
You smell it. I'm gonna be forever smelling black and miles.
so the thought or the idea of a soul came from religious beliefs.
Yeah, because
Oh,
in science, it said matter can't be destroyed nor created. So we just, like transmutate into something different. But in religion, like once this body leaves, you go into a slumber, into a judgment, then your soul get judged and you go back into whatever comes next. You get what I'm saying? Like, so that soul aspect. In science, you just, you go back into the earth, whatever. In religion, you become a different entity, which is your soul.
Yeah.
I just always thought your soul was like the makeup of the type of person that you are. If you're a piece of shit, like you have a shitty soul, but if you're a good person, then you have a good soul. I guess to me, soul is like a combination of like personality, like morals. It's the stuff that's within, the stuff that your moral compass, for like
Like
better
who you are
words.
genuinely.
Yeah. Like
you just describe what religion describes as soul is.
Yeah.
well, I guess we're in agreement there then. But I haven't tied us being soulful to like that's a godly person or like a religious person. I've never thought of it that way. I guess that's just unconsciously because I guess I didn't know where the idea of souls came from.
Your soul is like your essence in a sense. It's like this is the vehicle and your souls was driving that vehicle. So it's what you said, moral compass, your do's, don'ts, your left, right, your good, bad, whatever, all that collectively is your soul.
And I feel like every individual has one though, regardless of their beliefs or not though.
Yeah.
So it's like to tie it to religion, it's like not everybody believes religion, but like I feel like every individual has a soul regardless.
So then,
be good or bad, or
in some capacity, then that means you believe in religion if you believe in the soul, dog.
Yeah, you got to have some type of sense of spirituality to think about that.
Or
I think spirituality might be a better.
Yeah, spirituality. I use spirituality for being religious.
I think that's a more accurate.
But spirituality came from religion. That's what I'm saying. Spirituality and religion is not two different things.
But what religion would that be?
It's but every religion has spirituality. Like whether it's Hinduism, Buddhism, Christianity, whatever you Seventh-day Adventists, Protestant, whatever the fact, that spirituality that go hand in hand with it. It's not one without the other. They intertwine within themselves. You get what I'm saying? Like,
so would I be religious even though I don't have a religion that I personally cling to?
Yeah.
I still would be.
What would that be though? That because like, what if I'm just taking bits and pieces from religion and I've applied them in my own life while I'm not taking religion in its entirety?
Wouldn't
but
that
a lot
be,
of religions do that. A lot of religions do that. Period. A lot of the concepts that people see today came from certain things anyway. So like you're basically doing what Lutheranism did. Like he didn't believe the Catholicism.
Yeah, that guy's an asshole.
I went through all that.
Huh?
I went through Catholicism.
Yeah.
So then the whole communion and commandments.
He took bits and pieces of Catholicism and he created Lutheranism, but he still was a religious person. You know what I'm saying? Like, and a spiritual person.
Yeah. He because I went to a Lutheran college, so like I learned all that shit right about Lutheranism, and I thought it was, and that's really the thing that kind of took me away from like one named religion, because I grew up Catholic, and then I went to the school and learned about fucking Lutheranism, and like Pete said, this guy Martin Luther literally just woke up one day and he's like, I ain't fucking with this shit. Like I ain't fucking with the Virgin Mary stuff. I ain't fucking with how Catholicism, it's like your good works is what gets you into heaven, like, and like you could pretty much like pay your way into heaven type shit. Which again, I don't blame him for not liking that or not fucking with it. But regardless, the moral of the story, like him not fucking with it, he was like, I'm gonna create my own shit, have most of it be Catholicism pretty much, minus like these things. And now a brand new religion is made. And like people follow it to this day. So that's the shit that kind of like fucked me up about it. But I do believe in God though. I do believe in spirituality. Like I believe in all that. But kind of a little kind of like what Kenny's saying, where it's like, there's not a specific one that I cling to, a specific religion title that I cling to.
Yeah. I'm kind of like you as well, Rook. I kind of been in a lot of churches myself. Like I went to my grandmother. She's been in Pentecostal churches, Baptist churches. When I was growing up with my family, we was in Christian churches. I went to a Catholic school, so I kind of like and I was in a Jehovah's Witness church at one point as well. But I kind of just got the gist of all of it, and I was just like, man, like I just don't like the whole like forcing aspect that they seem sometimes, like, oh, if you got this, you're going to hell. Like I don't really like that. You know what I mean? Like, especially when they say that God is supposed to be forgiven and all that. I don't really like when they have those type of, oh, if you ink your body up, you're done. Like you don't belong here. Like the Jehovah's Witness church we went to barely wanted to let me and my brother in. He was like 7 years old. 8 years old. They barely wanted to let us in because we wasn't a member of the church. So I'm like, I'm cool with how I rock now. You know what I mean? Believing in the higher power and you know what I mean. Just having my basic concepts of things. So
yeah, but that's not a religion problem. That's what I be trying to explain with people. That's more of a people problem versus a religion problem. You get what I'm saying? It's just like people at my job be like, I hate Nike. I'm like, that's weird because Nike is a building and a concept that can't physically do anything to you.
To tell you,
And you applied to work here too. Like Nike didn't come knocking your door. Like, hey.
But what they really saying that they don't know how to articulate themselves is that they hate management, which makes more sense. And that translates into religion. A lot of times, it's not the religion that you don't like. It's the pastors, the deacons, the reverends.
Of course.
You get what I'm saying?
That same way.
The people that's doing the weird shit and telling you, just like, I don't know if you was there, Kenny, when me, Chris, and them went to that little church to play a tournament. And then
Oh no, I wasn't there.
we were supposed to win some money, and the whole time the dude was like, "Oh yeah, the tournament's about to start," but it was a trap. Like
Oh,
we
they
never,
preached to y'all.
yeah, we
St. Cloud,
never
right?
hooped. They preached. He said, half of y'all gonna die by the time you're leaving. It wasn't the
St. Cloud.
religion that was bad. It was him.
The messenger. Yeah.
Yeah, because how you preaching something that's supposed to be so holy, but you over there lying to kids?
Yeah, I be telling people all this time. I feel like the word has got remixed so much to where people use it for their own benefit. You know what I mean? Like if you ain't like me, then you not, or if you ain't doing what I'm doing, you not following the word. You know what I mean? Like,
But that's not the word that's being remixed. It's the
I know.
people. Yeah.
They're remixing.
And that's
these
the
are the
biggest
people
thing.
that carry the religion, though, right?
That's the biggest thing to
these
me.
These are the people
too,
that need to be held to these higher standards that you spoke about earlier.
Go ahead, Rook.
That's the biggest thing to me too. That's like tough for me to like accept, right? Because when you think about it, you know, when Christianity first started, it was under a certain language, under a certain dialect, right? These people that wrote the Bible and the word that was written, that is like God's voice, they called it spiritual inspiration or whatever. So like they believed that God was talking to them and they wrote his word, right? And they wrote the stories that way. Now it's under a certain language. So where the Bible comes into play is like what people did was they went back, found these original words, and translated it. And you guys know, like we speak multiple languages. Shit doesn't translate word for word.
No.
Like things get lost in translation all the fucking time. So like there's things in their stories where it's like,
why don't see what I don't understand? I feel like that's a cop out though. Why don't we do that with collegiate education?
What do you mean?
Because a lot of things that you learn, me and you, and all of us in here been to some type of schooling, right? We don't question that shit. A lot of that shit came from things that wasn't even English prior.
Like what?
Mathematics, science, all that shit. Majority of science was Latin.
Pete, first of all, don't talk to me about math because I can't do that shit no way.
So science.
I love science.
But my degree was in communications, right? Like talking is talking, communicating is communicating.
No, but the access to the information that you had wasn't originally in English. English is not the first. The first collegiate education came from Timbuktu. They were speaking Swahili. That got translated to Latin. That got translated to Spanish. That got translated to English, and nobody questions it. It's okay. It's fine. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of these scripts that was translated is not by regulars Joe Schmoes like us.
No, I get that. Yeah.
It's by wise people, and it's not just by one person. It was a group of people that translated this thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but then when you look at the translations, right? Here's the biggest difference. When it comes to like math, right? If a motherfucker in Russia does a math equation one way, and a motherfucker in the United States and a motherfucker in Brazil, if they all do an equation, the same exact equation, they're gonna get the same answer. It should be 10 out of 10 times. Now, when we talking about the words and the translations, like this is how we got so many different religions, is because these motherfuckers are interpreting it and they're translating it and saying like, oh, this means this is how I interpret it, and that causes a whole different religion. That's where the biggest difference is.
It's like come mierda, bro. Like in Spanish, like you a shitty person. In English, you eat shit.
Yeah.
That's still and no. I get where you was going with that, but you lost me because a lot of these religions didn't come from translations. They came from like Santeria, Wu.
They came from under interpretations.
No, they did not.
Yes, they did.
No, they did not.
Bro, they came from interpretations and how they viewed shit and how they perceived it.
From the original Bible.
Yeah, from whatever it is, from whatever text. Either they read it, they're like, I don't fuck with this, and created their own shit, or they read it, they're like, no, the way that they translated this is wrong, or the way that they wrote this is wrong. This is how it should actually be, and then created this.
That's few and far in between with religion. Like Lutheranism is an example. Boom, that's one, right? And then what changed between not Buddhism, but fuck, I just went blank. But what they believe in the Middle East.
Hinduism?
Yeah, no, what they believe in the Middle East. What changed between that?
Like the Quran?
Boom. The main difference with the Quran, they did not believe that Jesus was their
perfect.
savior. So a lot of original parts of the Quran is literally the same translation as the Bible. It changes when Muhammad becomes the savior. It's not due to no translation. It's due to whatever the people believed at that moment. Muhammad came into play. Boom. Now it's a whole different aspect of that. You get what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, but like, how do you think they got there? Right? They read the text and they're like, I don't think that's how it's supposed to be. Like, I don't fuck with it that way. Right? And then that's how that got created, though.
No, it was more location that changed that, because they were saying basically, how can a man that has nothing to do with us be our savior? Our savior is somebody else that's coming from where we come from. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's what changed. Lutheranism was definitely that, what you're speaking on. Like, he read it and he was like, nah.
Like, I ain't fucking with this.
We broke as fuck, so how we gonna pay our way into heaven? It's only gonna be these rich people that's gonna get into heaven. So what I'm gonna do to allow the poor people to get into heaven, we're gonna take this part out of it. That's basically what he did in that aspect. But then you go to a majority of other religions, like Catholicism and Christianity is borderline the same shit. It's just what changes is how people internally switches it over. Because a lot of stuff, let's just say with Christianity, Catholicism, because I grew up a Catholic too, because the majority, 80% of Haiti is Catholicism, right?
10%, yeah.
Huh?
The whole island.
The whole island.
So 10% of tithes, right? Whenever you get something, how they translated it, because a lot of the Pharisees in Catholicism, right, 10%, they wanted to get paid the 10%, right? But in Christianity, the 10% wasn't monetary things only. It was 10%, like, let's just say I got 24 hours in a day, right? I take 10% of that and give it to somebody else to teach them something else. That was the difference in how people perceived it, the different religion. You get what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, but again, that's what I'm saying, is perceived. That's how they perceived it. So how they understood the text, how they translated the shit in their mind, right? That's what I'm saying, Pete. Like, that's what I'm saying is the major difference. Like, when you talk about, fucking math and it being translated into different languages, right? Like, math is pretty fucking straightforward. Science, for the most part, is confusing as shit, but pretty straightforward. Like, all these motherfuckers, if you do the equations, you're coming to the same result.
That's not always true, especially in science. That's definitely not always true. That's why you have hypotheses and you go test and retest and retest.
First of all, hypotheses.
Same shit, but a lot of scientists don't believe in. They just came up with the theory of collective consciousness, right?
Of what?
Collective consciousness, right? It's saying everything in the universe is connected. God, body, all that. That's still religious in a way, in my mind, right? But then some scientists like, nah, that's false. That's bullshit. Cap. You talking shit. You talking crazy. But this is like
there do be some weird shit in science. I'll give you that. There is some weird shit in science that don't make sense. That's fair. Let's go away from science. Math.
But that's what I'm saying.
These equations.
Even the concept of outer space now. Before they said outer space was all around us, right? Up, down, left, right. Now they saying outer space is only forwards and backwards. There's no such thing as going up and down. It's forwards and backwards. And I'm
that makes sense. Everything that you can see and everything that's behind you.
No, like if I went outer space, right? And all these galaxies and stars and nebulas and all this smart ass shit that I don't fully understand. When you go out of space, you're not going up, you're going forward.
Right. I feel like that makes sense.
That's wild. Because when I go in water, I could go up, down, left, right, and all.
Wait, but that doesn't make sense, because like when astronauts go into space, they're going up into the atmosphere, out of the atmosphere.
Yeah, but like
of the
once
Earth.
they've already
What, you think there's like a ceiling, dog? Like there's a fucking nope, you can't go this high.
But you know what I'm saying?
Like,
but
once you've exited Earth's atmosphere and you're already out there in space, like
you're going forward.
you can go forward to see everything in front of you, whether you're at an incline or a decline, and then everything that's behind you is backwards. Like, I feel like that makes sense.
But
and
this
if you decline low enough, then you re-enter Earth's atmosphere if you're, within the vicinity, right?
But that'll be going down. All right.
Yeah, that's going down.
That'll be going down in the space to go into the earth, right? But that's what I'm saying. These translations, and this is going back. We do this so much with religion. We question it, right? Because I feel like a lot of people question religion, in my personal opinion, right? I'm not the smartest person in the world, and I don't care to be the smartest person anyway. A lot of people question religion because it holds them to a moral compass. It holds them to some, like, because from my own understanding and my own seeing and knowing, a lot of people just want to be on fuck shit all day without anybody questioning them.
Yeah.
They just want to do wild shit, like because I've seen it.
I ain't gonna hold you, Pete, but I question everything, bro. That's the type of person I am. Like, I gotta see what makes sense for me. You know
Which is nothing wrong with that. I do the same shit. As a kid, 90% of my ass whoopings came from questioning.
Yeah, same.
Like, my parents would tell me to go to sleep, and I'm like, oh, because you're gonna be tired in the morning. So I gotta go to sleep because I'm gonna be tired, but you don't need to go to sleep. That's wild. You're gonna be tired too.
I'm
Bitch, I'm grown. I'll beat your ass. Go to sleep.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I get what you're saying, yeah.
Like, save all your money, right? So I'm piling my money, which is good advice. But then my parents was broke. Save your money, nigga. What are you talking about?
Bro, everybody
Bills
was
to
going
pay,
to you,
little
bitch.
nosy motherfucker.
Right.
Go to sleep. I'll beat your ass.
But I just find it, I just find it wild that people will be quick to question religion before they question anything else. Like, because a lot of shit that they teach you in college is not even, dog, I didn't know until I got into college, oxymoron, that majority of Cowboys wasn't even the Cowboys that we see on TV. I didn't know that shit. But growing up, that's what I was taught.
Weren't they just like cattle wranglers, really?
No, majority of Cowboys was Mexican and black.
That's what I was gonna say too.
Oh, you mean like the demographic?
Huh?
Yeah, I've always connected Cowboys to Mexicans. I never thought a white dude was like had a sombrero and shit, riding horses. Like
one of the most famous Cowboys is Woody, like from Toy Story.
But that's from he barely a cowboy, bro.
He white as fuck.
Friends with a robot. Cowboys aren't friends with robots.
I feel like you should always question American history.
This man, he said Woody.
You know
that's an insult to all real cowboys out there.
Majority of the westerns was white.
Yeah.
Majority of Western movies and shit was white dudes. Like,
but yeah, that's a whole separate
that's 100% racially charged though, right? Like they wasn't trying to put minorities on the screen like that to represent that.
Which is true, but people don't, even in school when they showing you books and all that shit, and nobody's questioning this shit. Nobody questions that shit.
I feel like when I was in elementary learning this shit, I didn't have I wasn't at the mature level or the educational level to even know what the fuck I was learning. Ain't not my parents was teaching me this shit, or even know. Like, I don't know. I just feel like I'm questioning it now because I'm like, that shit's false.
I'm out of
bullshit.
Yeah,
I'm out of it. I'm able to see.
Yeah, I trusted the curriculum at the time, and that's why.
But even in college, though,
I don't even think you trusted it. You just sat at a desk and they taught you whatever they wanted to teach.
I was just honestly, bro. I was just thinking about lunch, bro. I was like, it's lunchtime. Yeah.
Time for recess.
We respect honesty.
I'm gonna go to the gym, bro.
True.
I'm gonna skip class in the gym.
Yeah, man.
That's what I was thinking. No, actually, my history teacher was Mr. Mogeson. He was that guy. I'm not gonna lie to you. He was like with the NAACP. He showed me pictures of him like marching with Martin Luther King and stuff. Like he was at the Million Man March in Washington. I felt Mr. Mogeson. If you out there, bro, like you're my guy, bro.
That motherfucker old.
He's a dinosaur, yeah. But he had a hunchback, bro. He used to hobble into the room, but he knew his shit. He'd been through some shit too. So
how you gonna clown this man? I
only clown people I love, you know. That's
not. You love me?
Oh man.
He's always clowning you, so he
Yeah,
can't come
he's
back.
always clowning me. Look at him, he's so mad at himself now.
He
Look at
clown
him.
you the most, so
I
Is,
know.
is this getting weird? Is this getting
Yeah, it
weird?
got weird,
Nah,
man.
bro, speak your
Weird.
feelings, David. How you feel
Scott's
about it,
just like, do
bro?
you
What's
love
up?
me?
Yeah, that
No.
voice fucking
Relax.
See,
loud.
look at
bro.
him. He's clowning me again. Hey, I love you too, bro. uh, yeah. All right. This is a good spot for us to get off. We're pretty much at our hours. It is. Hey, if y'all still with us, y'all listening to the video, like, comment, subscribe. Let us know if you know what David's
Let me
talking about when
know
he says Soldier
if you
Boy.
know what Soldier Boy is talking about.
What
Soldier Boy said it best.
yeah, what he's
Crank
talking
that.
about. Nah, it ain't crank that, Kenny.
Oh,
It ain't that. It's a little bit more derogatory, but we'll get to that
I'll give
later.
you a hint. He said it on the Breakfast Club.
Damn, yo, shout out to the
kiss
Breakfast
me through
Club.
the phone.
R.I.P. to the Breakfast Club. Till next time.
Did it really
Legendary
end?
clips from there. I guess it's ending. I don't know. But anyway,
Charlotte McGay.
like, comment, subscribe. We'll catch you on the next episode. Peace.